is listening closely because our last presenter is a graduate of Syracuse University and has been trading the financial markets for the last 15 years. He wears several hats over at Right Line Trading. He's a trading coach, assists with optimization of trading strategies and indicators, provides logistical and technical support, and is always ready and willing to assist the Right Line Trading community. Here to present AI Auto Trader powered by next gen technology is Mr. Rory Powers of Right Line Trading. Welcome back to Traders Corner, Rory.
Hey, Rob. Thank you very much. Beautiful introduction. I really appreciate that.
Hey,
It's
we
always such
appreciate
a.
you.
Listen, I always get fired up and excited to be on Traders Corner. It's always a huge audience, and I've got a really exciting presentation. So thank you for having me.
No problem, Rory. Take it away. We got your splash screen up. You seem good to go.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, I know it's been a long presentation, everybody, and I'm going to keep it. I know I respect your time. We're coming into this Labor Day weekend, and I think I'm more excited than anybody. It's always nice to get a long weekend and really kind of shift gears and get ready for the post Labor Day. The market, the trading environment is always a lot more exciting and volatile, and it's a great time to get prepared for the next season. And I have a really great presentation. What I'm going to be showing to you today, we call our AI Auto Trader, and it's an automated strategy that runs on NinjaTrader 8, and it is based on mathematical modeling combined with artificial intelligence. With that being said, let's take care of the CFTC mandatory disclaimer, which in short states that this is for educational purposes only. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. There is a substantial amount of risk if you decide to trade. You could lose your entire trading account, and who knows? They might come looking for you for even more. So if you're not familiar with the risk associated with trading, please contact a licensed trade advisor. With that being said, Rob did a beautiful introduction, but I just wanted to, first introduce myself. My name's Rory Powers, and Rob is right. I've been with the Right Line Trading team for going on 10 years now, and I think part of my success is really the great woman that I have behind me. And they say good men always have a good woman behind them. And my wife, let me tell you, I really got blessed. She's Haitian American, and we have two beautiful children. One who's 5 months old on the first. Actually, should be 6 months old on the first. She was born March 1st. And then my second daughter is 4 years old. And let me tell you, I can't tell you how blessed that I am and how grateful that I have my family in my life. We reside down here in South Florida. You're probably wondering about the hurricane. Let me tell you, we dodged another bullet. Thank God. It kind of went around to the northwest of us, and it looks like it hit almost the panhandle, and then went on its way through Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina. But we're all safe and sound, thank God. And I understand there really weren't many injuries or fatalities, so that's a blessing. So let's keep the ball rolling. The Right Line Trading team. It's just not myself here pulling all the levers, thank God. I happen to be part of a very talented, educated, handsome team. And our vision, our number one goal is to develop innovative trading strategies that help predict the future direction of price. And most importantly, we want to use that information to provide you, as well as ourselves, with an edge in trading the markets. Having an edge or an indication of where the future direction of price is going to go is really extremely valuable information. And the way we leverage that information in the financial markets can be done in a variety of different ways. And I'd like to first introduce very briefly, we have 3 live trading rooms. A lot of software vendors, they don't really have live trading rooms. What they'll do is a lot of them become Monday morning quarterbacks, and they tell you about the trades they took last week and how much money they made yesterday and how they saw it coming the next day. That's, I think, what distinguishes us from a lot of these other vendors, where we have 3 professional traders on the right edge of the market for that opening bell each and every morning, Monday through Friday. So on my top right, I just want to very briefly mention that one of our key equity streams is for prop trading. Prop trading now is kind of took off like a wildfire. It's allowed everybody to get into the game. David Kushner has 8 funded prop accounts, and he trades them every morning live in our live trading room. Also, we have Craig Emery, who also trades in one of our futures room, and he focuses on the NASDAQ. He loves the NASDAQ, and he's developed a style using our software that provides him with consistent profits. In fact, just today, he had about $1,100 trading the NASDAQ in his live trading room. And certainly, last but not least of our traders in the live trading rooms is Mr. David Wise. David Wise is a brilliant options trader. When it comes time to options trading, let me tell you, there's nobody that I'm aware of that has a higher win percentage than David. And he does it leveraging the software that we've developed. We also have Mark Sachs, who's also one of our traders. He's actually the founder of Right Line Trading. And he continues to provide support to our team in the development and his options alert services. Moving right along, we have a very experienced team of technicians, and I want to really briefly acknowledge them. We have Mr. Charles Sider, who has over 30 years of providing global client support and technical services. He's the engineer on the team, and I can't tell you how many meetings in the morning that he just meticulously looks at every I has to be dotted and T crossed, and he brings that to the team. We have Mr. Brock Miller. Brock Miller is a digital marketing specialist. He's actually right now he's a college student, and he's working towards his formal computer science degree. And by the way, I think it's important to note that Charles, he's a UCLA graduate and a very smart guy. We have Mr. Sergio Luque Rodriguez. He's a Cuban American. He's been with Right Line for about 10 years now, and he has a master's degree in computer science. When it comes time to developing software or solving problems, let me tell you, I don't care what it is, he will come to the solution. He will dig it out and find it. And last but certainly not least, the head of our department, the head of our team, is Mr. Mark Miller. Mark Miller is a U.S. Army veteran. By the way, if anybody in our audience today is a member of the military or has been a member or has any relatives, my hat's off to you. We thank you for your service. You're a better man or woman than me. And Mark Miller brings those core values to the team. Those core values being transparency, integrity, honesty, and good old-fashioned hard work. Probably something that the two of us share is that our spirituality. He truly is a man of God, and those principles and values have found their way into every department of Right Line Trading. So I'm part of a very educated and talented team, and I'm very proud of that fact. Two of our youngest members, our newest, I should say, we have Mr. Jacob Thomas, and secondly, we have Mr. Brock Miller, who've been trading for about 2 or 3 months now. Okay, that's right, 2 or 3 months. They just began trading. They're considered newbies. They really don't know much about trading. This has been their first experience. And it took them both about I think one on their third try and one on his first try. Using the software that I'm about to share with you today, both of them were able to get funded through a very popular prop firm. And I want to congratulate them. Now, I respect your time. I know this has been a long presentation, and I don't want to talk too fast, and I'll probably run out of time at the end. So if during the presentation you find yourself interested and you have some questions, please post the questions in the chat box. I'm not being rude or disrespectful. If I don't have time at the end to get to all the questions, if you could just kindly put your name and phone number in the chat box. As soon as the presentation is over, I'll be happy to give you a call and answer any questions that you might have. Okay. With that being said, listen, this trading journey that we're all on, and I include myself because I've been trading the financial markets for over a decade now. But we all share, similar hurdles on this journey. And I have the privilege of talking to a number of you. I see the names in the audience. Thank you for joining me here today. And I've had the privilege of speaking with a number of you on the phone. And we all share these common problems, these that we run into. A lot of impulsive trading. We might take a few winners and think we've got it made, and then all of a sudden we take one loser and it wipes out those winners. And once that happens, the revenge trading kicks in, and we try to make it all back on one trade. And lo and behold, before the end of the day, we've blown out another trading account. So, a lot of us have bought indicators that just don't work. They lag price. We just don't have the proper tools to effectively trade the markets. So listen, if you find yourself with one of these struggles, I want to tell you that you're not alone. Not only are you not alone, I'm sure every single one of us has experienced some of these issues before. However, the good news, and I am here to show you some good news, is that it's my team's commitment to you today to bring all of this to an end. Okay? And I'm going to show you in just a moment here how we're going to do that. When you're looking at the right edge of the chart in the morning, and I've heard some of the presentations before me, and good Lord, I'll tell you, my trading journey has been full of frustration. I like to cut my winners short. I'll squeeze my stop. I'll revenge trade. And it's a very frustrating experience to continue to blow out accounts and not get consistent results after several years. So when you're at the right edge of that market and you have all of that static, having a good, a powerful trading system that can help you predict the future direction of price is really key. And we've narrowed it down to two things that will create trading success. Number one, you have to have the proper tools. Okay, you have to have a software system that's going to identify risk and show you the best areas to get in and to get out. And ideally, since as humans we suffer from these emotional shortcomings, we would like the software to automatically get us in and automatically get us out. at the most opportune times when risk is at its absolute lowest. I mean, listen, this is what the hedge funds, this is what the banks are doing. They're not sitting there clicking a mouse and waiting for a setup. They're using super powerful automated trading systems. And the benefits of doing that, it eliminates overthinking or hesitating or the emotional errors that I just briefly outlined that become so frustrating. Um, the AI auto trader that I'm going to be showing here today, when it enters a trade, it has your stop and your targets placed in advance at the places that we've determined by doing a tremendous amount of data analysis to see where the best profit and stop locations would be for the variety of time frames that our system uses. So the stops, the profit targets, they're all placed for you. There's no more cutting your winners short, and there's no more mismanaged trades or overtrading. So I'm going to get right in because what I have here to show you today is just an extremely powerful portfolio. It's a diversified portfolio of different time frames, data series, and instruments that we can run simultaneously that make it an extremely powerful system. And it's all fully automated. When I say fully automated, you can actually set it and forget it because everything is contained within the strategy parameters and it is fully automated. So the number one, the first strategy that I want to highlight with you, and if you do decide to come aboard today, you will receive today for this special offer, you will receive all of the strategies that I'm about to mention. Number one is our Golden Goose strategy. That Golden Goose strategy, it trades gold, obviously. It trades gold right at the open of the COMEX, which is at about 8:20 in the morning. And it's a very exciting strategy. The Golden Goose will get into the trades when institutional money is driving the price of gold either higher or lower. It tracks the flow of institutional money. How does it do that? It looks at a disparity between uptick and downtick. When our software sniffs out that there's a huge disparity between buyers and sellers, we know that institutional money is driving the price of gold higher. We have a couple of other parameters that the system looks at. And once all of the conditions of our strategy have been met, the cross will come on your chart. And if your strategy is enabled, it will instantly fire off a trade. Okay. So this is an example of a gold chart just recently of the entries that it took and how it manages the trades to get you in when risk is at its lowest. And my next slide is going to show you this past week. Actually, this is over the majority of this month of the performance of gold. You can see the drawdown here. It's minuscule. Gold had a minuscule drawdown this month. And you can see my equity curve is up over $3,000. So it's a very powerful component of our portfolio. The next strategy that I want to highlight is called our Nighthawk. Our Nighthawk strategy runs on a 1-minute NASDAQ chart. It's very fast. It swoops in and it actually takes reversal trades, counter trend trades. And it held our single day record for just over $4,000 in a single session. Now we've time optimized it to where it only runs from 8:30 to 11. 8:30 to 11, those 3 hours out of the day. It's become one of our most consistent strategies. And let me tell you, a lot of a lot of people ask me, hey, does this work on evaluation accounts or prop accounts, performance accounts? And it absolutely does. A recent example of how this system trades, you could see the entries that it took. The NASDAQ is actually headed up. And once it gets a little bit overextended, it takes the counter trend trade down and takes a full winner. Now, this happens to be a picture of today's NASDAQ, if I'm not mistaken. This is today's NASDAQ chart. Let me turn my ringer off. And you could see that the NASDAQ went up and the system took the trade short and got a full winner to our second target. The NASDAQ continued to go up and it took another trade, a short entry, and it came down and got our target, our first target. So in this uptrend, it waits for it to get overextended, and that's defined by our software, and it takes these counter trade entries and just hits winner after winner after winner today to make over $3,000 in today's session. So that's our NASDAQ. I like to call it a George Costanza. George Costanza from Seinfeld. There was an episode where he found whatever he did it wrong. So he figured out if he just does the exact opposite, he'll get it right. Well, that's what this does. This one does the exact opposite that we would have done as traders. We probably would have followed along in the direction of the trend and continued to get stopped out going long, where this one kept going short in an uptrend and made $3,000. $3,000. And let me tell you, it's not out of the ordinary. It's not going to make that money every day, but it's not out of the ordinary that it does this. Okay. This is an equity curve of the Nighthawk over the last 8 or 9 trading sessions, and it's up at just over $3,000. But I think the nicest thing to observe on this equity curve is there is no drawdown. There is no drawdown. So, which makes it, you know, a really nice option for prop accounts or evaluation accounts or even your live account. So let's talk about our next strategy, which is called our retirement plan. The retirement plan, and let me tell you, if this strategy keeps trading the way it has been, that's going to be you and I on this boat, and we're going to be retired, sailing off into the sunset. This thing has the ability to really run up the score quickly. I really love it because it has a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. It looks at the momentum on our Laguerre momentum and market internals for its entries. An extremely exciting strategy. This happens to now hold our daily record. And I think it's just under $5,000. I think it's about $4,500. Listen, that's in one session. $4,500 in one session. Myself, you know, I started off by saying, you know, one of my, let's say, character defects is I like to kind of take the money off the table a little too soon. So this was my chart today, trading the retirement plan. And once mine hit 750, I'm a conservative guy. If it hits 750, for the love of God, I don't want to give it back. And I'll take my money off the table and call it a day. So this was today's chart on the retirement plan. And you could see the beautiful trades that it took. It took a long entry, got both targets. It stood aside. It got faked out into a long entry here. It took a loser, and then it got right back in, way underneath the 50. Momentum, you could see my Laguerre, my oscillator crossed over the 20. I had our background bias, which is one of our conditions that must be met. And the automated strategy got us into this trade early, and rode it all the way up for a full winner. and I got to 750 and happily and quickly disabled my strategy. Okay. For an equity curve, this thing can just knock it out of the park. This is the day it made 4,500. Since that day, a couple of days, it took a couple of days came back down, gave some of that back, then got right back on track and went up even higher. So the potential on this combined with the other strategies makes it a really great component of our portfolio. Our next strategy that I'd like to highlight is one of my favorites. We call this strategy our Freebird. And our Freebird strategy, the reason we call it a Freebird, it runs on the ES. And I always talk to a lot of traders that love to trade the ES. I just want to mention that all of these strategies that I'm discussing, they can all be traded either on the micros or they could be traded on the E-minis. Okay, so depending on what your risk tolerance is, depending on what size prop account or what size live account you have, we could trade these on the micros or we could trade these on the E-minis. And that holds true for every single one of these strategies. So the Freebird strategy is an extremely exciting strategy. And, you know, we just came out with this not long ago. And our genesis, the reason why we released it when we did, because we had been testing it for a long time. But the timing on this, we're coming into Labor Day now. Post Labor Day, you know, when all the big shots come back from their summer break and they all come back to work, the market starts heating up and we start to see that volatility and that volume and that follow through on these moves and some really nice trends develop in the markets. And this Freebird is, let me tell you, it is going to thrive, and I'll show you why. The reason we call it the Freebird is this strategy trades like I had mentioned, the E-mini, and it has a very modest first target. The first target, I believe, is 2 points, 8 ticks. Once we hit our first target, our stop is going to go to -1 point because we want to give it some room. Okay, we're not going to lose any money on the trade. We locked in a point of profit. Okay, but we're going to put our stop at -1 point. We've just hit our first profit target of 2 points, and we're going to stay in the trade until momentum wanes and our 15 EMA changes colors. You can see the dotted line on this chart that's just above the 50 is a solid line. The 15 EMA on this chart is the dotted line. We have what's called, it's our proprietary momentum-based trailing stop. And this is why we're so excited coming into post-Labor Day. When these markets start getting volatile and start flying, we have the potential for our Freebird to get into some of these moves and fly free. And once this gets into flight, it's going to stay in flight until momentum wanes and our 15 EMA changes colors. Once the 15 EMA changes colors, you're going to get an exit on the line change, and it's going to take you out. Now, if you look at this entry, all right, and where it got in and where it got out, and you have a couple candles that pull back, now how many of you can honestly say that you would have stayed in for that maximum excursion? I know I wouldn't have. You know, I probably would have came into this area of support and squeezed my stop too tight because I see there's some wicks that came down. But this is fully automated. This is going to go according to the technicals. It's not based on opinions or biases. It looks strictly at the technicals. Okay? No emotion, emotion free. And listen, it'll continue to do it all day without making a mistake. This was a short entry here. It hit our first target and then came back and got a line change exit. The third entry went short, hit our first target, continued down, and then the line change and took us out. This was 3 nice trades for a $900 day, which is not rare. Our equity curve on the Freebird, you could see here right through the end of the month, the last couple of weeks of our trading session for the month of August. And this strategy is up close to 4,000. Okay. So again, a very powerful strategy. We have a powerhouse of optimized strategy templates that compose a diversified portfolio that all have different strategies, are all running on different time frames, and a lot of them are on different instruments. Another favorite of ours is the Hungry Hippo. The Hungry Hippo also trades on the ES10 range. The entry that it takes is a momentum-based entry. It looks at our Laguerre oscillator, as well as our market internals and our multi-time frame assessment of trend to take its entries. Those strategies that take those momentum-based entries, they don't respect market structure so much like our other ones. They'll trade right through the 15 and the 50. They pick up those market internals along with momentum, and they sniff out that institutional money is reversing that trade. And what it does is it gets you in the trades early. These strategies that are running on, we have 2 entries. We have our market internals entry, which is signal B, and then we have our signal A entry, which is our Laguerre momentum based entry that also looks at a couple of other conditions. So the Hungry Hippo, what I love about this one too, just like what I showed you in the last one, this one has a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward. Listen, the reason why we had, futures traders have a hard time being consistently profitable is because one loser wipes out 2 or 3 winners. Well, what these strategies have done, they've reversed that. They've put the risk to reward in our favor. We're taking very little heat on these trades. We did a data analysis of the MAE, and we found that these entries that our software provides you come with very little heat. So if we're not getting a lot of heat, then we're not going to have a big stop. I think one of our stops on the NASDAQ is as tight as 15 ticks. I think it's the Hungry Hippo. The Hungry Hippo or the Haymaker has the initial stop is only 15 ticks, and it crushes it. It could take a loser, it could take 2 losers, and then come back, and you have a winning day after 1 trade. So that's really, I think, one of the key components of our success. And that's what this slide illustrates. This strategy, the Hungry Hippo, if we look at a breakdown, this was this past week. It took 33 trades. I think you'd have to cut that in half. I'm not sure about the odd number, but our strategy, our ATM strategy calls for 2 contracts. So with a 2 contract strategy, if it's 34 trades, it's really 17 entries for the whole week. So for the whole week, it took 17 entries. And listen, this is a strategy that won 42% of the trades were profitable. 42%, okay? But the average losing trade is $191 compared to the average winning trade of $439. Okay, you see the difference there? So this chart in the background, it shows you the entries. We get into this trade. You can see to the left of my chart, on the left edge of my chart, we're in a long trend, in the bullish trend. Price comes back and retraces to the 50. Our Laguerre oscillator gets pinned down in that retracement. And then when it crosses the 20 and we have our market internals and our bias in alignment, it pops you into that trade and takes a huge first profit. That's really a huge first profit. I think it's like 50 or 60, 30, no, it's 30 ticks on the ES. So it hits the first profit target. The market kind of goes into consolidation and then shoots up and we hit a full winner. And that's how that hungry hippo will enter these trades off of that signal A entry. But my reason for highlighting this performance ratio was I wanted you to see that even with a 40% win rate or number of profitable trades, it's still extremely profitable because our winners are so much bigger than our losers. And listen, if you trade a prop account or you want to get started trading a prop account, if you want to stay funded once you do get funded, you have to have a strategy with very little drawdown. That's the key. That's how they get you. Because of that trailing drawdown, you keep chasing your tail and you can't get to your profit target because of their trailing drawdown. It's going to cut the life of your funded account. It's going to kill it, and it's going to keep you redoing your evaluation accounts. So these risk to reward ratios that I'm mentioning are for good reason. So let's keep moving. Again, you could see my drawdown is zero. It's zero. This has an equity curve of up over $6,000 going back to August 16th. And last but certainly not least, and I kind of saved my best for last. And I told you we had a powerhouse. We've got the Haymaker. We refer to this the Mike Tyson of strategies. The Haymaker, delivers the knockout punch. Another strategy with a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward. It runs on a 30 range on the NASDAQ. It has a 2 to 1 risk to reward. It's on the NASDAQ 30 range. And the reason why we call it the Haymaker and the knockout punch, this one here, you could see the entries that it took. It gets in very early on that signal A. My Laguerre crosses. I've got the background bias. I've got those market internals in my direction. Institutional money's pushing the price of the NASDAQ higher, and I get in early. And I ride this move all the way up through my second target. Took very little heat on the entry, and I'm in. Here it looks like it took a long and got stopped out. So it's important to know that you're not going to win every trade. And then it gets right back in again. My Laguerre crosses the 20 line. It pops me into this long, and I'm in it for the second target. On this session, that strategy made $2,900. And that's our Haymaker because, man, it hits home runs. And coming into Labor Day, when that NASDAQ starts running, and we're on this 30 range chart that could fly, the Haymaker that's getting very little risk, you can see it took a loser here, very little drawdown, but gets back in and delivers a knockout punch. Let me tell you, this combined with our other strategies, if one of the two of those other strategies has a bad day, the Haymaker is going to come in and clean it up and keep you on track. So it's a very, very powerful component of our strategy portfolio. And again, this is the analysis. You could see combined that our portfolio, I've shown you, for this, maybe this week or the last couple of weeks running these strategies, what our profits have been. Cumulative, when we check them all off, the strategies that you will receive today and that you will begin trading right after Labor Day or starting tomorrow. If you want to get in today, we can get you up and running tomorrow. This past week, the net profit, up until the time that before I started, we were up over $9,000. $9,000. Okay, trading all of these instruments simultaneously. Okay, me trying to trade these individually with the charts in front of me, trying to make these split-second decisions, scared to God that I'm going to lose my money. There's no way in the world that I would have been able to pull that off. Okay, so with this, it makes it possible. This past week's performance, $9,105. Okay, that'll get you funded, and that'll keep you funded. So I want to get into my special offer, and part of the special offer, if you decide to come aboard today, you're going to become a part of our community of traders. We have the absolute best Discord chat group. We have a community of traders that's 300 deep now that all shares their daily results, what's working, what's not working. We have our prop trader channel that they tell us which prop companies are offering the biggest discounts that week, or what's working for their prop accounts, and tricks of the trade, that, you know, little tips to be successful as a prop trader. Listen, as a community, there's power in numbers. There's power in numbers, and hearing as a community what's working and what's not is extremely helpful. And having a venue that provides that community of support, not only with technical support, but with the general chat channel and the daily results channel. If you have an issue and you need help, it's all in that Discord chat group. And I want to show you the special offer. So you'll become a part of our Discord chat group. And what we're going to do, I know it's been a long day, so I'm not going to take a lot of your time. But I want to get you in the game with this. For Traders Corner, we absolutely love Traders Corner. Every time we come, there's like 200 or 300 people. And thank you guys. Thank you for joining us here today on Traders Corner. But what we've done here today is we've doubled our coupon code. The coupon code today is going to be save $200. And it's going to bring it down to $299 for the first month. We want to lower the bar. We want the opportunity to show you how this works. Okay. We know after the first month, you're going to be with us for life, like a lot of our other members. So we've lowered the bar today for the Traders Corner special only. We're going to include, and this may very well be the last time that we include our full portfolio. If you get in now, you'll be grandfathered in to receive all of our future templates. Okay. After Labor Day, we might go to just selling individual strategies, because I mean we have a powerhouse, a portfolio of strategies that can all have extremely high value standing alone. So with that being said, it's $299 for this Traders Corner special. I want to put a link in the room. The best value is going to be the annual. I'm telling you, get it now for the annual because it's a huge discount. It's $29.99 for the year. Once you apply the save $1000, the $299 will cover you. $29.99 will cover you for the entire year. If you break that down by the month, I think it's about $250 per month. So your best value is going to be the annual. And I'm going to put right now in the chat box, if I can find it. Give me just a second. I want to put my special offer link. And I also want to add that I know it's Labor Day weekend. We have a long weekend coming. And I don't want you to feel that if you decide to come aboard now, that your time will begin, that the clock will start today. It won't. If you decide to come aboard now, and I urge you to get in early because um, we want to get you up and running. We want, when that opening bell comes on Tuesday and Labor Day's behind us, we want you licensed. We want everything up and running. And when that bell rings, you're going to be enabled and ready to rock and roll. We want you to be prepared. So if you do decide to come aboard today, the clock's not going to start till next week, okay, after we get back from the holiday weekend. The special offer does expire Monday. The coupon codes will be valid through Monday, okay? So I just wanted to take a moment to answer the questions. And I'm going to escape out of here and bring up my Discord chat. Oh yeah, I did want to mention that we do provide you with incredible technical support. But if we go into our Discord chat group, we have our general trade channel where our members post their results for the day. They talk about which strategies are working, which ones are not working. We have our daily results channel where we have our traders that post their results for the day. Saxon yesterday was up 3,000. KC, Revel, we look at his results, we're on the Nighthawk, he was up 1,500. The retirement plan, 1,900. On the Haymaker, 1,600. So these are, our members that are getting the same exact results that I just showed you, okay? I don't want you to feel that this is smoke and mirrors because it's not. Are we going to get these kind of results every day? Probably not. But let me tell you, we have the potential to do it, and I think we can come pretty close to being that consistent with winning results that I'm showing you here today. We have a great prop trading channel. We have 1 million prop traders that are part of our community. And you will be part of that community as well. So with that being said, let me see if I can run through the questions real quick. Let me find them. I know my time is up, Rob. I don't know why it does that all the time. Let me go back to my offer slide. Now listen, if I don't get to your question, I had mentioned earlier, please don't hold it against me. Type in your name and your number. I will give you a call when this is over. I'm just going to grab a bite to eat for lunch, and I will give you a call. So just to answer a few of the questions, yes, it is being recorded. We are going to send out a replay shortly, and I know Traders Corner is going to post theirs. I think they posted to their YouTube channel. So let me go back to when I started, which was about 3:45. How is fully automated? Yes, Naski, this is fully automated. The strategies are built on the NinjaTrader 8 platform. Once you enable them, everything is in place and everything is automatic. You can set it and forget it. We have the hours that it trades. We have, once it reaches a certain profit target, it stops. We have a trailing profit target, so you can't give back all your profits. We have a loss limit. So everything is fully automated. What was the capital employed in retirement plan? Great question, Kumar. Listen, again, I'm not a licensed trade advisor. For the micros, if you had a $2,500 account, you could probably run the full diversity of our entire portfolio. For the E-minis, you'd probably want to start with I would say a minimum of 7,500 to 10,000. That's to run the entire portfolio. If you want to run singles, you would need significantly less money. Richard asked, do any of your strategies use time? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. And I failed to mention. Our portfolio has a diversity of different time frames. We run time-based charts. We also run range-based charts. In the strategy parameters, we can really leverage any bar type that we choose. Right now, you will receive strategies that contain both time-based templates and range-based templates. They do come with all the chart indicators. We had some traders I saw today that are leveraging the signals to trade on a discretionary basis. So if you do decide to come aboard today or over the holiday weekend, you will receive the chart templates, the strategy templates, and our proprietary ATM strategies. Dan asks how many contracts we use to make the 9,000. All of our strategies that I highlighted today was based on a 2-contract strategy on the E-minis, not the micros, on the minis. Two contracts, Dan. With that signal A entry we have with the Laguerre, it gets us in early. Early. Is it only for futures? Yes, right now it is. All right, listen, I see a bunch of numbers and I can't wait to talk to you guys. I really prefer to talk on the phone. Let me grab a bite to eat, and I will definitely give anybody who leaves their name and number in, I will give you a call as soon as I get a sandwich in me. And I want to end up by thanking you for joining me here today. It's always an honor, really, and a privilege to get to present our products and with you. And thank you for your time. I want to wish you and your families a blessed holiday weekend. I hope you spend time with the people that you care about the most, and you realize the fruits of the Spirit. Amen. Have a great holiday weekend, everybody. God bless you.